Former VC yourself, and you understand that the position of government that tuition is free does no longer holds water for Nigerians who are feeling the brunt. Some of the fees have gone as high as 100 or 200%. But at the annual education conference on Monday, you talked about the federal government granting universities autonomy to explore new sources of financing. How is that expected to work? Because right now, management is talking about administration fee, accommodation and things like that is changing the figure totally. When you now put the administration, when you put autonomy in the hands of universities, what's the fate of Nigerian students and how is that supposed to help them?
Well, the long-term solution to all these things is actually to grant universities complete autonomy in all facets of their life. At the moment, the financial autonomy is not full, but government is inclined to that, granting universities financial autonomy so that, as they are doing now with staff, other governance issues, universities can have the freedom to charge some modest fees or the fees that are necessary for the running of the universities. They will now also have the opportunity to explore other sources of funding to run their programs. They can have business ventures. They can have some grants and donations from people who want to endow in various areas of research. They can also explore, support from alumni, which in the world is a very major source of funding. If you take Harvard, for instance, a large chunk of its funding comes from alumni. And government can come in through sponsoring researches in particular areas of need, as is done in other countries. So in this way, universities can actually be very busy and be very buoyant in their revenue stream against the situation that we have now where everybody is struggling. The universities management is facing very tough challenges in meeting their needs, but their hands are...
I understand your position, Professor. Permit me to butt in very shortly. The idea of universities now generating their own income and also helping, the administration, so to speak. But if you are to speak to UNILAG students, for instance, who are returning to the street tomorrow to protest the hike in their fees, what would you say to them? Is there any intervention in sight for those students who are saying they cannot afford the new fees?
Well, the first thing to do is to appeal to them that really what the university is charging is a very necessary contribution from parents and students. But, as I said, we are also engaging the university to see if it can be less. So this is the basic message. It's a combination of understanding from parents and students, and then while we look at what the University of Lagos and other institutions have charged to see if they can do with less at the moment, despite the pressures they are facing.
All right. So there is the position of inflation as highlighted by the school management. There's also what you have said about the need for universities to begin to generate incomes for themselves. But you agree with me that we're not doing well, with our education funding. 15 to 20% budgetary allocation is considered the international benchmark according to some UN documents. And it would seem that we're still doing way below 10%. You have promised a 25% increment with the right policies in place. What policies are you referring to? And is that in the short term?
Well, this government inherited a support level for the university, which we all admit can be better. And that's why even in his campaign manifesto and the policy documents given to the ministers, the president has stated his willingness to go up to 25% in terms of his support for the university, which is unparalleled, which is very huge. Once the right policies are provided for that support, I mean, this is somebody who knows the centrality of education in the economy of any country, and so he's prepared to put on the table up to 25% of the national budget once the right policies are put forward to him. And that is what we are working on at the moment. Sooner than later, we are going to come out with very robust policies that will change the tide in the education sector of Nigeria. And towards that, we have set up a roadmap committee, which is working very hard on this. We are also working in the ministry on reviewing a number of policies on the ground and seeking to ensure implementation of some very laudable policies actually which are on ground, so that we have the education system of our dream in Nigeria.